Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the WGLNA. I'm Joshua Gray, joined by Randall Holcomb, as always. We saw a decisive victory from Simply Irresistible. We'll see them later tonight in the finals, but our next matchup will be Doge Squad versus Get Flanked. As a reminder, please follow us on Twitter at WGLNA, Facebook.com/WGLNA, and use that hashtag so we can find your tweets and put them up on the broadcast, hashtag WGLNA.
And don't forget about the question of the day. Who's going to make it? Who's going to win it all? Who do you want to see in the Gold League? Let us know.
Well, my non-biased guess is out, Voltage, but I really wish them the best of luck in the Bronze or Silver League. Also, betting has begun for every single battle. Every single battle. Back in the day, it was every single match. But now it's every single battle. You can place your bets. You want more information how betting works, ask the people in Twitch chat. If you're not interested in betting, don't worry. You don't have to. You can simply full screen us in all our HD glory and watch some awesome esports tanks action. However, the top 50 performers when it comes to the most amount of points that are earned tonight have an opportunity, a chance to receive a $50 gift code from Jinx, who have some awesome apparel when it comes to World of Tanks. At our last finals, we had a custom bandana. That was beautiful. That came from Jinx. So if you need a couple gift ideas, make sure to head to jinx.com and click on World of Tanks. What do we have for rosters?
All right, rosters. Let's take a look at those. Doge Squad. A few players you'll remember. Bobo, I think, is Josh's favorite character from Doge Squad. Get Flanked. You recognize all those generals' names. And no luck. All right.
All those generals and no luck.
And there's a few other names on
There's
there.
a couple other
It's
guys.
Chicken. Chicken's a cool guy. We'll look for him to perform well today.
We're going to see the same maps as we saw last time, Prohorovka and Steps. Prohorovka will be first. What do we have for tanks?
All right, looks like we've got 3 T-32s, a Pershing, 1390, RU-251, and a T-37. That's going to be Doge Squad, the blue team, defending at the beginning of this. The red team, who is attacking Get Flanked, will be bringing a T-32 Pershing, 3 RU-251s, and 2 M41 Walker Bulldogs. So we've got this meaty defensive build from Doge Squad and Get Flanked with something similar to what we saw out of Simple Tankers, that hit squad of RU-251s.
Yeah, they have the speed, a little bit of that firepower as well, and they're going to move quickly on the eastern side. Now we're seeing Eastern play on Prohorovka from one of these teams here tonight. And as they get closer to that flag cap, they have to watch their opening, and they do take a little bit of damage. Ike, a.k.a. Dwight D. Eisenhower, is hit for 110, but they're going to continue to move past the flag cap and cover the crossroads.
Yes, that is exactly the plan. They want to secure the middle with their medium and heavy tank. And is that an up and over? It is! Crazy! This is insane! Dwight D. Eisenhower going straight into the fight.
But look at him continually moving, but he falls. Matsu Sol gets that shot. No luck, is hit from behind, but Roral is the next one to get hit. This long-range fire coming from the center tanks of Doge Squad is their defensive power right now. Matsu Sol's the next to fall. It's 2 tanks down for Get Flanked and 2 tanks down for Doge Squad. They've traded out, but the HP is more in favor of Doge Squad here, as No Luck has taken a number of shots, but Cod, able to dodge one hit from Walker, is hit from No Luck from behind. Astro Puck trying to cover Cod in that Pershing. Can't get the track shot, and Cod is in trouble. They're going to continue to focus against him, but to the south, it looks like Doge Squad is winning the battle down there.
Carjacks has gone down. Get Flanked losing one of their crucial tanks for that. Now Matthew Ridgway has to take on 3 tanks, 3 T-32s, and he is at a huge disadvantage.
A little bit of ramming damage coming from Chicken and Walker, but now they're focused on Astro Puck, who's going to fall back from the Doge Squad here. And he takes a hit from No Luck in the RU-251. Very low HP, but still staying in the fight. Walker trying to cover, but Astro Puck takes down No Luck, and he has coverage from the Doge Squad to the south. Chicken gets hit. Astro Puck falls. 2 tanks remain for Get Flanked, 3 from the Doge Squad. Chili Coyote is low, and this RU-251 and Walker Bulldog can use their agility, their speed to get behind these T-32s, but they're going to have to do so quickly.
They need to put distance, and that's exactly what they'll do. General Walker was playing it a little risky earlier, but he did get one final parting shot onto Chili Coyote before escaping over the hills. Now they have one last little move before they can get out. General Walker is still spotted, and Chicken needs to get out of here. He needs to go dark, become unspotted, and use some bushes to escape. This is a risky moment. You can see fire still moving in on him.
Chicken hanging out. A little bit of distance, but still some fire coming from Doge Squad. And as seeing if Doge Squad's going to try to pursue the T-32s, which would take forever. They would never get there.
It's not a good strategy.
No, and they're on the defensive side. So looking at how far south, looks like they can go all the way south here on the side of get flanked, and then from there, where do they go? The T-32s, 3 of them still remain. Just back up to each other and look in 3 different directions and find where the aggression's going to come.
Do the coil, as it were. Yeah, that old strategy, it could work. I wanted Get Flanked to pull a head game, but I think they were more concerned with surviving right then, and that's probably a smart choice. Chicken could have gone down. Chicken could have, though, escaped into Alpha 1, that area, maybe one of the grid squares around there, and stayed passive, hidden. And General Walker could have then begun scouting a little bit, and we could have seen maybe a kill come out of that. Chicken can put up good damage. The M41 is a strong tank, and if he brought the consistent fire gun, then he can spit out a few K in a minute, and he had about 3. So with 3 minutes, he could take down the 3 T-32s.
Still some movement here coming from Get Flanked as they've crossed over the railroad tracks. Chicken taking the low road and Walker taking the high road.
Now, what is the strategy Get Flanked is going for? We have to read this situation and say, okay, what are their best options here, and what are their intentions here? It looks like Chicken is going to spot, and Walker is looking to snipe. So Walker loading maybe a heat shell to try and pen one of those T-32s at range. Heat does work well at range. You don't lose any penetration because a heat shell is a shape charge. Its penetration is based on
Chicken takes out Chili Coyote, so now it's 2 against 2.
And there's a snipe shot against Bobo. Looks like Bobo is spotted, and they can try to take him out. He's a little bit cut off, but with 2 minutes left, this is going to take a lot of work and a lot of luck. Maybe a few mistakes on Doge Squad's side for this to be successful. Now with Rick moving to the northwest, where he currently is, he's going to be able to stop this and perhaps take down Chicken.
He's going to find Chicken. He's not looking towards Chicken. Chicken fires into the side. Well, it looks like it did not penetrate at all.
Rick doesn't need to stop here. Rick has no reason to halt his approach.
Rick pushes over. Bobo unable to get the shot from long range. Rick gets it. 2 against 1 right now.
Yeah. With this hit point advantage and the fact that you're a T-32 and you have that much armor, you can go up and over. Your opponents are not healthy enough to deal with you. Unless perhaps Doge Squad was unable to account for their hit points before they went dark. Because, of course, you can't see what your opponent's last hit points were with a vanilla client. All of these guys are running vanilla clients. Mods are banned for the tournament. So these guys are all looking like that. They don't get to see what their opponents were sitting at. They don't know for a fact what they were unless they were paying enough attention. It's possible that he hesitated because he didn't know that Walker was at such low health and that he could afford to push over with as healthy a tank as he was.
Oh, the time ticks away. 55 seconds left for Get Flanked to either destroy both the remaining T-32s or lose. That's the only option he has now. His tank is unable to get the flag cap due to time.
He can do his best, though. He can try and shake Doge Squad's confidence by performing well in the situation. Maybe give his team a little boost of morale so they just go, good job, Walker. Not enough time to get it done, but we know we could have done it, which is better than we messed up horribly. Oh, gosh, these guys are good.
What do we do? What do we do?
What do we do?
19 seconds left.
Oh, there's a shot onto Rick. Traded damage. General Walker is down to 1 shell, 191 hit points left. But Rick has taken a shot on reply. There we go, 244.
There's another one. Rick wants to get this kill, though. 5 seconds left. Walker's going to fall back. Bobo's pushing up as well. He could have the opening with 1 second. And can't get it. So because it goes into that scenario, that's a win for the defensive side.
Not bad. A well-played defense. No huge issues there by Doge Squad from my perspective. It seemed maybe hyper-aggressive from Get Flanked.
Hyper-aggressive, sure. The type of play, though, to the north, they were going to get this win, but look at the amount of damage that Matsu Soul is just he's able to dish out continually until he's the next one to fall. But since the overmatch to the north is going to continue, the overmatch to the south will continue as well, and that's where it started to change over. I felt that Doge Squad said, all right, stay alive as long as you can in the north, we'll win the south, and then we'll come up and help you.
I think Get Flanked made a mistake, though, and that was after their overmatch. They did an excellent job going up and over and just saying, we don't care, let's just get them. And they did. They got some kills and they were ahead for a little bit. Where they fell behind is when they stuck around. They didn't get out. They didn't try and get away from those T-32s and preserve all their tanks, they kept chasing, and they kept staying exposed. As long as they were exposed, those T-32s were still able to deal damage, and we saw how that ended up working out. We lost some tanks that probably could have survived with one hit left and still dealt damage. When your gun is still alive, that is more important than simply allowing your tank to die. I think they should look at self-preservation.
I like seeing East side play. I've always been an advocate of the East, but in that type of mode, when it's that aggressive, it just cuts the map in half. It really does. Battle number 2 is about to begin between Doge Squad and Get Flanked. What do we have for tanks?
For tanks, 3 T-32s, Pershing, 1390, RU-251, and Matsu Sol again in that T-37. That's Doge Squad, the defenders. Get Flanked, the attackers will be bringing 2 T-32s, 3 RU-251s, and 2 M41 Walker Bulldogs.
First time I saw 3 T-32s that were used on Prohorovka was a series for an international tournament that took place in Seattle. And that was, at the time, Mouse Sports, now Lemming Train, against Na'Vi. And Lemming Train got the win.
Not bad. I'd seen 3 T-32 strats before on open maps, but most of my playtime was back when Artie was more potent, and you'd see it every time on an open map, so my experience is a little bit different with T-32s, those being rather rare and maybe seen on Ruinberg sometimes, but it's a changed game. You see it happen every patch. The game changes a little bit, and everyone adapts and learns these grand new ways to play the game, which I find really exciting, and that's why I love the new format of 754, where we see no longer T1s, we see those Tier 6s and Tier 7s coming out. We see Artie coming back a little bit, which is, I think, nice.
Looking at the initial run from Dwight. A couple shots came from the T-37 on the side of Doge Squad, but did not connect. But there is a connection against Matthew Ridgway. He takes 2 from Doge Squad, and no return fire punishes him.
Maybe a third? Ah, Chili Coyote, not quite loaded in time. He's turning his turret a little bit the wrong way. Chili might take a shell from the hill. Not able to connect on Matthew, and lucky for him, doesn't take any connections. The building in front of him should go down soon. Get Flanked needs to get that out of the way, so that they can begin putting that crossfire on their opponent.
Those long-range shots from the T-32s on targets they can see keeps Get Flanked on their toes. A couple more shots into those railroad cars, or beds, I should say. And Carjacks could be the next one to take a hit. Nope, it is a bounce.
Ah, look at this. We've got No Luck to the south. Is going to catch Cod out with a little backup as well. Cod is down to 569 hit points. No Luck is almost unopposed in this rolled, unable to reciprocate that damage. And now we have cat pressure from Get Flanked.
And as Cod tries to figure out if he can stay behind that cover, he's going to turn his attention towards the center of the map as Ridgway lands a hit against Rick Owens. Another shot again. Chili Coyote takes a hit for 264. They answer that with Dwight, but here's the push from Get Flanked from behind. Cod is in trouble. He takes multiple hits, but here comes the rest of Doge Squad pushing up against the T-32s in the center. Cod is able to escape. He is, and he gets the kill against Matthew Ridgway. Carjacks now completely surrounded. Will be the next one to fall. Astro Puck and the 26 Persians pushing in. Tanks destroyed on both sides. Now 2 down for Get Flanked, 1 for Bobo on the side of Doge Squad, and now they take down Cod as well. No Luck still pressing across in the RU-251. Moves up against the RU-251 rolled, and Dwight's going to push in against him. He takes him down. Get Flanked now has the advantage, and Walker in the RU-251 is going to press in and get in the mix as well.
Now No Luck is sitting in almost a safe position. No, 2 tanks going down for Get Flanked at once. T-32s and Pershing are coming out ahead a little bit here. If Chili is able to keep himself alive, we could have a situation where Doge Squad is able to come back based on simply that consistent fire, armor, and hit points.
That Walker Bulldog, it'll do significant damage, but the Pershing is going to take down the Walker Bulldog next. He needs to focus on that target, take him down. Even though he's going to do little damage, that damage is going to make a difference over time. Now he does.
I don't think he can stand up to Walker. Walker is too healthy.
I think he can with the Pershing if he is able to angle his armor correctly and use these dead tanks around him. But that RU-251 is too fast. It's going to get behind the Pershing. You're right, Randall. He's not going to be able to deal with this. One more shot, he will go down. And Get Flanked ties up the series 1-1. Nice engagement. Good brawl on both sides. But those 251s, And Walker Bulldogs can get behind those heavier tanks.
Yeah, I got to look at the damage from this because you can't tell in a brawl like that who's doing all of the damage they need to. It's just so much chaos. 14 takes to keep track of, and the T-37 at times, I'm looking at him, was able to deal a good 600 damage, but you can see how chaotic this is. This is both teams attempting their own separate maneuvers, and in that brawl, it goes crazy. Chili Coyote in the T-32 is able to deal 2,232 damage in this attack, where the Pershing right behind him, that's Astropunk, is able to keep up. And this is the losing side. This is Doge Squad able to put out serious damage.
And you'll notice in the replay as well that COD, this is a moment where the southern get flanked position is going to move in, and COD took significant damage, so get flanked has the confidence of, we can get this. We have the HP value factor. Let's push in.
And pay attention to Haphazard real quick. He is on the left side of the screen, that M41 Walker Bulldog. He is actually going to deal 2,220 damage in this engagement because he is getting behind the right tanks and just putting shell after shell after shell into them. Not being bothered too much. He's able to focus on dealing damage, and even though he's a tier 7, he's able to do just that. Sick amounts of damage, outpacing everyone else on his team.
All right, it's not a shutout since it is tied 1-1. That was the one prediction that we both could agree on, at least, that with the talent of these two teams, it wasn't going to be that type of matchup. Pro-Rovka still battle number 3. We're going to see a switch here on attack defense. What do we have for tanks?
All right, Get Flanked is going to be bringing 2 T-32s, 3 RU-251s, and 2 M41 Walker Bulldogs. Same strat as always for them. This seems to be their bread and butter for Prohorovka. Now, Doge Squad is going to be bringing a single T-32, Pershing, T-69, 1390, 2 RU-251s, and a T-37. I really do like that T-37 and the way Matsu is able to bring it out. He does good enough damage, he puts himself in the right positions, he's just dangerous enough, and he's well covered. He keeps being well defended. Doge Squad is doing a good job at not leaving him out to dry, and anytime he's taken out, his opponent pays for it. That's how you use the T-37.
Shot fired coming from Dwight. No connections yet.
Looks like a little early attempt at damage. It will verify that Doge Squad is going east, though, which could be a good amount of intel, so Get Flank can begin to respond to this.
And their response so far is 3 tanks on the west side. The rest of the tanks are in the center. And Dwight's going to head to the south, and the RU-251 as the T-32s will cover the crossroads of the railroad tracks. And Doge Squad will have 1 tank actually go past the lagoon, the little river.
Yeah, that's COD. COD's going to
1390.
be getting a strong cover position. He'll be able to fire towards the middle. Once some buildings are taken down, there are 2 destructible buildings that are in the way so that he can't quite get the perfect shots. But if it occurs to Doge Squad to destroy a few of those buildings, could work out for them in the end. COD, more importantly though, will be looking to his direct west at the crossing in the north.
Doge Squad puts 1 tank on the flag cap. That is Matsu Sol.
Yeah, little T-37 is sitting in the bushes. Actually an easier target, where we've seen other teams, place him slightly across that dirt road so that he's a bit more difficult to find a real angle on.
These T-32s will creep up just over the railroad tracks. They'll get a double hit here for 505 against Bobo. A double tap from the T-32s is a strong combination. And they're ready to do it again once they're reloaded, but Bobo's going to try to cover the flat cap and make sure they're focused on him and Astropunk rather than Matsu Sol, who is still on that flag cap, 43%.
You see Get Flanked grouping up in the north. All of their light tanks with COD watching this position. He's able to spot it, fires, isn't able to get any damage, finally does onto Chicken. Now the cover fire from the southeast is going to need to reach out and just touch one of those tanks in the northwest, or at least take down the tanks, the T-32s, that are in the middle right now. This is a situation Doge Squad is going to be able to deal a little damage, but Get Flanked is going to probably spring just trigger.
Spring that trap. There it is. Bubba was able to bounce to the shots from Carjacks and Ridgeway, but now Matsu Sol is going to be the next tank to fall here in this series. But look at the amount of damage across Get Flanked. They are getting annihilated 3 tanks at half health as the T-32s are going to try to cover the movement from Get Flanked as they move quickly towards Rick Owens and the T-69. This is that overbearing coverage that Get Flanked needs to have in order to take them down in their different locations. But the placement of tanks up on that hill allows for long-range shots that are unequivocally destroying Get Flanked. And now as they try to fall back and regroup, Ike takes a number of hits, but No Luck takes down Rick Evans. No Luck from long range gets hit for 193, and Cod in the 1390 wants to get that kill, but Ike may move in to try to cover him.
But Ike won't have quite the damage he needs. I think Cod needs 2 shells to go down, and I think he's reloaded, at least from his posturing. Great crossfire. That's Astropunk taking him down.
And as Ike loses his battle buddy on that side, Chili Coyote takes down Carjacks. Walker gets hit for 200, focusing now on that flag cap. Doge Squad is going to continue the fight against these 2 tanks who are now isolated. 3 remain from Get Flanked, and Walker will be the next one to fall. Railroad pushes in without even stopping fires, and now Ridgeway takes another hit for 250. There goes Ike, so Ridgeway's the last to remain here. Astropuck takes a nice shot on the side. Railroad pushes up. Ooh, big bounce on the side of the hole from Ridgeway, and that's it. Get Flanked falls to Doge Squad in an impressive placement that we saw in a series last night from V-Boys with their placement of tanks from long range.
Yeah, that's just a good coverage. Strong positions. They knew exactly what they wanted to do in that situation, and they executed well. Unfortunately for Get Flanked, they did not predict and scout out this position well enough before moving in. I wish they'd verified Cod's position first, and then maybe decided something like a new approach or maybe a stronger counter to these positions. It's difficult though. With the hill in the southeast, the hill in the very far north, you've got coverage on both of the important entrances to defend that cap. And with the T-32 Pershing, it's even stronger. I feel like it's a difficult position to attack, just like on Himmelsdorf. It's going to take a lot of practice and study to understand that and then be able to counter it.
So the counter now for the defensive side is, do we now put our coverage on that one flag cap? Do we not have that be a trigger for us? Do we have presence on the other side of the railroad tracks? Or do we have to play patient again and figure out which side exactly they're going to commit to? And that's where scouting is going to be so crucial. I feel mentally in the mind games later on in the series, because you want to try to cover all your bases.
Yeah.
But then the deeper meta to that is, if you can predict a team's going to do that and you hyper-aggress, you hyper-blitz on one of the sides and go for that flag cap or try to bait them out, they don't have the strength to return fire. They don't have the strength to hold against that kind of blitz.
Yeah, you can't quite bring a strategy that's a hard counter because that's too much of a gamble. Yeah. Hard counters are easily defeated because they have one goal in mind, that is to defeat this one small set of strategies. You have to play then to be able to adapt and react to that attack and deny your opponent that control which they want. We'll have to see if they can try and do that. That's something that'll come out in the next few weeks, I think, because this is a difficult problem to solve.
Battle number 4, last battle we're going to see here on Prohorovka for this series, is about to take place as Doge Squad is up 2-1 against Get Flanked. What do we have for tanks?
For tanks, looking at Pershing, T-69, 2 1390s, 2 RU-251s, and a T-37. That is Doge Squad, the red team attacking. Get Flanked has decided on a possible solution that went through my mind, which was to bring an artillery piece, and that could allow them to defend the east side. Get Flanked bringing 2 T-32s, 3 RU-251s, an M12, and an M41 Walker Bulldog. So going for a Tier 7 artillery piece. Where is that headed?
Haphazard Osprey is heading towards the northwestern corner. He's in Alpha 2 currently. We saw Haphazard in this... Well, I don't know if it was in this exact arty, but we saw this arty from last night, I believe.
We did see an M12 once, but I think teams have been going for a slightly lower tier generally, but this could work out well. It hits hard, certainly, the M12.
We saw the M12, we saw the M44, and I think we saw one more.
We saw a GW Panther.
Yes, right. That's
the
right.
GW Panther.
That was Cod in the GW Panther.
And I favor that. I like that. It's a strong choice in my opinion, the GW Panther. And the M12 is good in that it has decent splash, good arc, good reload, but accuracy may not be its strength. Of course, no Artie can depend on that.
Chicken's gone. Get flanked. Now loses a tank. He was up trying to scout, and now he is utterly destroyed. And that's going to be a lot of eyes and ears gone for Get Flanked. And they're continuing to fire into Matsu, Soul, and Chili Coyote.
That is exactly what Doge Squad needed to do, which is scout and destroy something. The chicken represented vision and control of the 1-2 line. Now you see that there are no light tanks quite in a strong position to spot down and see one of those blitzes. If Doge Squad were to take the correct route, they could blitz down the 1-2 line right now. It would be risky, but they could do it, and they could take out Artie with that.
And no luck. Dances around in the 251. He's going to fall back here.
Haphazard Osprey aiming towards the midsection. He fires.
Looking for a connection.
It looked like it was near Astropunk.
Astropunk took a hit for 254. That must have been from the Artie.
That could have been. It also could have been one of those shells from Carjacks, possibly. But
Carjacks,
it's hard to tell.
Yeah, Carjacks.
Haphazard's now aiming into the east. It looks like that's the main focus. From Get Flanked, he's looking towards Rick Owens in the T-69 and Astropunk.
A couple more shots firing here. That's 2 down for Get Flanked. Carjacks moving towards the small little village on the other side. I wonder why these buildings exist across the other side of the train tracks.
Like in real life or in the game? Because in the game, they serve a
they're a very good purpose.
They're destructible cover. So if they were indestructible cover, I think they'd be a little bit too strong. But being a house like that, you can take it down. It's very useful.
We have a trio of tanks heading towards the south along the Kilo line.
Rick Owens is about to take an Artie shell. I know it's coming.
And he takes a hit for 279, and then another one for 430 in that total volley.
And that was the Artie, tracking him, probably doing a few crits here and there.
And another hit against Rick Owens for 653. The Doge Squad with these 3 tanks left, the rest in the center. And Rick Owens is hit again for 244. Rick, you've got to get out of there.
He's not gonna.
And he falls. Carjacks gets it. So Carjacks is able to get a couple of those shots earlier on. Bobo's going to push forward. And Doge Squad wants to answer this aggression, but Bobo is moving in without the rest of his team covering him, but he's moving as fast as he can in his 1390 against his T-32. He's trying to body block against the rest of the tanks, and now the T-32 falls. No luck could be the next one down in the 251. He goes down. Walker Bulldog's going to stop against Rollrolled, and now we have an overmatch again. But the tank difference is going to continue to increase in favor of Doge Squad as Walker is close to falling. Ridgeway will be the next one.
Yep, looks like Walker, one more shell. There he goes. Ridgeway is 317. 2 more good shells should finish him off, and then Haphazard Osprey is the last one alive following that. Cod is on his way. Seems a little poetic that someone who has played an Artie will be able to finish off the Artie.
And shots fired from long range, actually. It's Chili Coyote that gets the final shot, but Rolled softened the target. Doge Squad is looking powerful, they're looking strong, and they're looking adaptable to different situations here. They are now 2 battles away from closing the series.
Yeah, they really look like they're getting a lead on their opponent. They're getting kind of that momentum in a series, because when you play battle after battle after battle on the same map, you get used to your opponent. You realize their tendencies. Some players have a habit of maybe going forward when they get a hit to try and reply, and some have a habit of backing off. You get used to those kinds of little details about your opponent, and I think Doge Squad is getting ahead in that respect. They're figuring out the way Get Flanked is thinking, and they're doing a good job at responding to that. Also, bringing in Artie. Get Flanked didn't get the hits they needed, and this has happened a few times before, and it's really biting them here.
Now the Artie hits, sometimes that splash damage can do just enough to make a single tanker second guess their movement, their attack, second guess anything, and that can cause hesitation. But it's getting to a point now where maybe some of these teams are starting to realize if we can overmatch certain sections of the map, if we maybe cannot take control of the entire map itself, but if we can move to this one position, if we have enough cover on one side out of 4 sides, let's move. Let's go. Let's get the overmatch, and let's move from here.
And the defenders who are using that already need to create stronger crossfires.
Yes,
Unfortunately, with Prohorovka, if you create an incredibly strong crossfire in the west, I feel like your east side is weak, which we saw just a few battles ago where that east side domination and setting up well was able to win them the battle. If I kind of start getting into that theory crafting, if they'd had an Artie in that situation when we had the east versus west, you could have seen a situation where that M12 was able to deal damage very well. He's able to put fire on the cap, stopping any aggression there as long as it's spotted. Even if it's not, there's 2 positions which would make any sense. He's able to respond maybe to some tanks on the hill, respond to tanks in the hill to the north. So I think that setting up a strong crossfire might just be the right strategy when you're on that north defending side, and then letting your arty do work and be impossible to attack.
The difference now, though, on steps, the crossfire is a little more broken up. Even though the map is still large, the valley compared to that northern type of aggression section could pose a different type of arty usage, which I would like to see from these teams. Here we go. Battle number 5 between Get Flanked and Doge Squad. What do we have for tanks?
An interesting lineup. We're going to look first at Get Flanked, though. 2 T-32s, a Pershing, RU-251. Eisenhower is bringing a T-54 Lightweight, a T-29, and an M41 Walker Bulldog. The T-54 Lightweight is a cool tank. We've seen it a few times before, but we'll get more into it if we get a chance. Doge Squad, 2 T-32s, 2 Pershings, 1390, RU-251, and that T-37, yet again, Matsu Sol bringing that. We'll see if he can surprise us again and prove its worth.
Get Flanked has the defensive side here, as Doge Squad will have to be on the attacking side.
We'll see what Doge Squad's approach is, and it looks to be... I like this. This is cool. Okay, so we've got 2 tanks. Looks like Turkey Vulture and Rick Owens. Turkey Vulture is also doing something great here. 1, matching camo. I like it. 2, he is pushing the T-32, so he's kind of sharing horsepower. The way it works in World of Tanks is generally, if you've got better horsepower than another tank, you just get right behind and push him like this, and he's going to go just a little faster. You're going to go a little slower, but this T-32 is going to get into position faster than you would otherwise. And I love doing that for tanks like the T-95, who is just the slow death tortoise, and they always thank me. The T-95 players are always so polite when I do that, and they're just like, "Thank you, I really appreciate you pushing me, because that gets me to the fight better, and I can help you, my teammate." So T-32 Rick Owens is getting into position very quickly.
And there's one first shot from No Luck 33. Chicken is hit, 684. Chicken again could be the first one to fall on the side of Get Flanked. He is not having a good time there. And
Turkey Vulture moving up could get him.
Walker Bulldog here. 2 shots coming from the Pershing and the T-29 from Get Flanked towards Cod and Rorold.
Oh, come on, Turkey Vulture, no! He misses out on the opportunity to take down Chicken, unfortunately, and he may be able to go back and get it. No, dang. It's knowing. I don't know if he has Chicken spotted, but it was so close. He had an angle, and he could have finished him.
A lot of shots coming from Cod and Rorold towards the T-29 No Luck, but they're having no luck with their shots. None of them have penetrated yet against T-29. I went there.
Yes.
The 2 T-32s up top on the northern side of the valley have no clear shots yet. Astro Puck and Matsu Sol from Doge Squad, you'll notice, are way in the backfield back here. And if they were to move in after Chicken was taken down, again, another overmatch situation for Doge Squad here.
Yeah. And now we have Get Flanked. In the south, I like the T-54 Lightweight, accompanied by the Strompanzer RU-251.
Chili hit for 239.
Oh, nice. These 2 tanks can put crossfires up here. They can look towards the middle and towards the T-32 Pershing and maybe get a little damage here. The 100 mil on the T-54, not the greatest sniping cannon, but not really a bad choice either. The RU-251 makes a decent sniper as well, firing HE or heat shells.
And Cod and Rolled from long range are able to get a couple shots against No Luck and Osprey. Crossfire continues here. 3 minutes and 57 seconds left for Doge Squad to set up an attack run. The flag cap on this section is a difficult place to put a tank due to the hold down positioning on that eastern valley. However, a southern approach could be an option here. Rick Owens gets hit for 264. Rorold and Cotter to lead the northern section.
Yes, I feel like the options for Doge Squad are quickly vanishing as they're taking a little bit of damage here. Astropunk is down to 878. That's from fire coming from the south. Dwight and Walker able to do just a little bit here. 1 shell went into Astropunk earlier, taking him almost a half, and then putting a little into Astro and Rick Owens is useful. Now, it looks like Chicken has joined them in the south, and that could make it 3 tanks, but they might just be leaving him behind so that they can assault from the north. Maybe this is Get Flanked making that call. It depends on if they stay or if they go.
Doge Squad has to make the call now at 3 minutes. They have to pull this trigger. If not, it's going to be a win for Get Flanked when the time runs out. Roll leading the charge in the 251. Cod and Matsu Soul in the 1390 and the T37 respectively are moving together. They do have the advantage HP-wise, but you don't want to be overconfident because of that. Chicken
spotting
is able to dodge shots. So there's one shot from Roald on the move. There's one hit against the T54 lightweight. Dwight down 430. And continuing the push here from Doge Squad to get this Southern aggression in. Roald hit for 247. There's a couple missed shots actually coming from Matsu Soul and Roald here. And now they're going to be a little bit of trouble. Dwight is the next one to fall, but the RU-251 is going to get behind Roald and gets the kill. 2 against 1 in the south.
And I think he's going to fall in just a moment. T37 should be able to finish him off. Cod, one more shell from him. Also, cross shots coming in from Doge Squad from the north were able to assist in this fight.
Look at this. In that last engagement, the T37 got the kill. I don't know if Cod still had shells left. If he did, that was a great decision for Doge Squad to let the T37 and the consistent fire get the kill, allowing another shot to still stay with Cod if he's not going to go for the reload.
Or reload. I think he would have gone for the reload in this situation so that he's prepped for the fight, which is coming up. You see him rushing just towards him, and now from the west, you're seeing that attack. No Luck is going to be looking at that southern attack, where we've got T-32s in the north. Ridgeway is going to have to hold off 3 tanks. Maybe Carjack sticks with him, but it looks like Carjack is going to head south. And now, No Luck taking the first shell as Cod is moving over and gets the kill.
And Cod has taken a little bit of damage. He recognizes the danger, falls back down behind cover, and allows, hopefully, the rest of his teammates to move as they focused on him. And now we're seeing the movement coming from the Doge Squad. The overmatch against Offspray is apparent, and they're going to focus on him first. Carjax is going to be next, as 2 tanks remain to the 6 tanks left alive for the Doge Squad. That southern push was perfect. And now 1 minute and 3 seconds left. A big bounce against that T-32 with 1 tank remaining for Get Flanked. The 2 tanks from up top from Doge Squad, Chili Coyote and Astro Punk, are going to focus on Ridgeway as he takes a volley hit for 723. Chili Coyote receives a hit from the T-32, but it's Astro Punk that gets the kill. And Doge Squad takes another point on the board, and they're 1 battle away from closing the series.
It was that southern engagement, I think, that did it. It was a 3v3 in a way, but you saw cover fire coming from the Doge Squad in the north, Pershing lending assistance, and I'm going to have to look at who got Chicken. Who killed Chicken? That must have been, I think that was Rick or Chili. One of those two. I think a T-32 picked that one up, and we saw, Rick Owens. Thank you very much. Rick Owens picking that up, and that's a shell that's not being used by any of these 3 light tanks. They're focused on the more important targets, while one of their allies is able to lend a hand. That's great cover fire, great positioning from Doge Squad, and a perfectly placed engagement. I don't think Doge Squad could have hoped for a better spot to find those light tanks. If they would have been further east, that would not have been quite so one-sided of a fight.
I have to ask Doge Squad after this series, if they made that decision from COD to start reloading and allow the T-37 to destroy what was left of that tank. Because if so, that is one of the most heads-up plays I have seen to make that type of call.
We could be misreading this, and he could have actually just been on reload the whole time.
He's just like, I'm out of shots. I had to get out of there, and the T-37 had it. But it's that type of deep strategy of, hey, man, T-37 has this. You get out of here and go reload. Even though you could, fire maybe 2 more shells and get the kill, it's that guaranteed we have this, move on to the next engagement, prepare for the next engagement. Yeah. And the danger from the tank that still was alive, that's what you kind of have to measure of, could he fire 1 more shot and hurt COD from leaving that section, or is it worth the risk of getting the reload, having full 6 shots from a 1390 and coming up to clean up what was happening in the northern section?
Yes, but Matsu Soul's been performing so well in the T-37, and he's not doing so exceptionally well that he's mind-blowing or anything, but he's very consistent. He's good. He's doing well, and I would trust him to get that done. If you were on my team, I'd say, okay, Matsu, he can deal with this. I don't need to stick around and try and help you too much. I'm going to go deal with something more important.
We're going to be starting battle number 6 between Get Flanked and the Doge Squad. Doge is up 4-1, 1 battle away from joining us in the finals. Can they do it, or will this be the uphill climb for Get Flanked to try to tie this series up? What do we have for tanks?
Oh, I love these lineups. Okay, Doge Squad first. Red team attacking. They've got 2 T-32s. They've got 2 Pershings, RU-251, GW Panther, and an M41 Walker Bulldog. Like it. Matsu has now moved himself to a Pershing. Looks like he likes American tanks. And we've got Get Flanked bringing 2 T-32s, 3 RU-251s, 2 M41 Walker Bulldogs. So they need to take out that Artie, need to stay mobile. It's a lot. That is a lot to deal with. It looks like Cod's going to be moving to the west at first, staying behind his lines, but there's an interesting split. We've got Rick Owens, Matsu Sol going up the middle with Turkey Vulture, and look at the way you have Get Flanked moving in right now. This could be devastating for Doge Squad.
Well, they're deciding to go for the western side here as Get Flanked cannot get an attack yet, but they're trying to scout. Astro and Roller get hit. That's 2 shots from Get Flanked into Doge Squad.
Astro's stuck, tracked out in the open, and he is going to go down very quickly. That damage is...
Big shot from the Artie, 355, but Astropunk will fall.
They really needed that scout later in this match. It might not matter, though, if these light tanks can figure out how Doge Squad is split and deal with that. The heavy tanks, Carjax and Matthew, need to get into this fight. They're so far out right now. But wait, they could actually have beautiful crossfire into the heavies and mediums moving to the north.
Turkey Vulture and Matsu Sol, along with Rick Owens, have taken a lot of map control here, at least from the southern tip towards this flag cap, but they do not have the east, and that's where a lot of the defensive play will happen from Get Flanked. Carjax is hit for 460-something damage.
This is, I think Get Flanked has mismanaged the situation a little bit, and now they're trying to escape where this could have gone differently. It's going to depend on how this comes out, what kind of shots land if Get Flanked is able to get out there.
Oh, this crossfire, as you mentioned, Randall, is really going in favor of Doge Squad, but they still have not destroyed any tanks yet. Turkey Vulture receives a call of get out of our faces coming from Get Flanked from the north, but Doge Squad returns fire and hits another shot.
Yeah, this No Luck down to 830 hit points. Artie's got a beautiful shot onto Walker. And Chicken, No Luck, in a decent position as well. Let's see, heavy tanks have moved out from their normal hold-down positions and are slightly forward. With this, they could get under some shells of the GW. Where is he looking, actually?
Well, look at this from Get Flanked. They are now moving all the way to the west, closer to those tanks. That Chili Coyote and Roll are trying to hold that position, but No Luck gets hit for 265.
All right, but he does put one into rolled as General Walker and Chicken are heading on over. The collapse from Doge Squad could deal with this, but not before they lose rolled.
And General Walker gets hit from behind. Matsu Sol's in a little bit of trouble here as he takes a shot. And the first tank to fall is Chicken for Get Flanked. No Luck could be next. Matsu Sol waits for it.
Not quite.
Can't get it. Roll will get
look,
it, though. Or Rick Owens will.
Oh,
not before COD goes down.
Wow, that's huge. They've lost their Artie, and now it is a 4v4. Get Flanked can still salvage this situation.
Yeah, they could. Matsu Sol's hit for 233. He's going to fall back. I don't know if the Pershing just didn't have a shot turn in the corner or if Rick Owens was a little bit too late to get there, but COD maybe a little bit upset with his teammates that they did not destroy that target in time. But that was a good move from Get Flanked to destroy that type of aggression on the attacker side.
And now Dwight puts an HE shell into Rick Owens, I believe, and that's going to only track him, no damage. That could have actually been heat in that situation.
Well, Turkey Vulture takes a number of hits here as he tries to back up. And Dwight in the 251 has full health as we are 4-on-4 now. HP is almost even if you try to look at haphazard. And
yeah, it is. It really is kind of close. Haphazard, though, just needs to stay alive. This is one of those situations where you just keep the gun on the field. That's all you have to do. And that could do it. But this is an interesting flank.
Look at this. Matsu Sol and Turkey from around trying to get one of those T-32s. They get one. They get one shot against Carjax. Rick Owens try to hits Carjax to the side. Can't get it. Matsu Sol's in trouble. He needs to fire at least one more hit before he goes down. But he's trying to use his power of Pershing. But he falls.
I believe can only get you so far.
It can. It can only get you so far, and so can a hold-down position in that Pershing. Dwight Eisenhower in that 251 is still on the move, but Chili takes down Carjax and Matthew B. Ridgway. He's in a little bit of trouble, too.
Dwight's just hunting for a target. Unfortunately, he takes 3 shells. One more will take him down, but he is able to get Turkey. Nice shot on the move. He needs to escape, keep his gun alive, but he's unfortunately going to have to leave Ridgway all alone.
Well, Ridgway's going to do as much damage as he can before he falls to these 2 tanks. And with 2 minutes and 2 seconds left, with 2 tanks remaining on both sides, if Get Flanked can play this guerrilla-type warfare of long-range shots to get the resets against these tanks, they could still get the win here.
1 or 2 good resets will actually win this for Doge Squad, though. They just get far enough away. When the cap begins, they're going to go back, flank from either side, get the spotting that they need, and then from the opposite direction, you get some fire. Now, looks like Dwight, did he get himself spotted? Saw a fire coming from Chile.
Oh, that was Rick Owens that actually fired towards Dwight, but did not connect. 30 seconds left on the flag cap here for Chile Coyote and Rick Owens to cover each side, looking for any type of approach. And Dwight is possibly, no, they haven't spotted him yet. They're not looking exactly in his direction. But that is where one tank has been spotted, the other one. They don't know exactly where he is. That's why Rick Owens is scanning the horizon a bit.
They've still got 15 seconds.
One shot on the fly here.
Haphazard's almost there.
Haphazard needs to move quickly.
He's almost there, getting close, and he will have the shot. Both guns are not looking towards him if they know that they can take advantage. Haphazard getting into position. He is hesitating a little bit, but can't blame him.
3 seconds
Spots
left.
it. He spots it. He has one chance. He does not connect.
It does not connect.
But that's a connection. Dwight gets it.
Rick Owens has to move from that section as Chile covers. Rick Owens gets a kill against Haphazard. 16 seconds remain as Dwight needs to get another reset here.
Needs 2 resets, really. I think. No. Just get the reset. That's all he needs. This is going to be blind, I think.
Blind fire for the reset. It is close. 12 seconds left on the flag cap. 17 seconds left.
I don't think he knows. Does he not know?
Needs one more shot. Needs one more shot to get the reset here.
Okay, he's just choosing a slightly different angle, slightly higher ground.
Poking up. Rick Owens and Chile looking for it. He fires.
No.
Can't get it. Doge Squad are going to the finals. They get the base capture.
Wow.
Close firefight.
That was so incredibly close. Get Flank could have handled that slightly better, and it would have been so incredibly different. We would have seen a completely different story here. Get Flanked in a great position, almost do it, almost clutch it, but Doge Squad was ahead. They had every reason to win that one.
And a good move by Doge Squad to put those T-32s on that flag cap instead of trying to chase after these other tanks. And that was a bit of a blind shot, I think, from Dwight, or a little bit off on the accuracy. But right here, coming from Haphazard, he gets the reset, but does he stay too long?
He lingers. That's the problem.
He lingers right here. He gets 2 shots. All right, now move. No,
yep.
you didn't need that second shot.
It was a bad situation to be in. Okay, you bounce your one shell that you're supposed to connect. Your battle buddy does connect, but you have enough time to get one more shell out. Maybe save the battle. Maybe delay it just a little bit longer. You do lose your tank, but you get the connection you need. I think they put both connections, though, onto the same tank. If they were able to split them so that you have one onto one T-32, one onto the other, reset all of the cap points, that's a better situation. It's hard to judge, though. You just pick your best targets you can pen, and you go for it. It was just a rough situation. Some things didn't work out. I think in hindsight, they're probably kicking themselves right now because they had it. They really did have the ability to win that one and try and take the series back into their control.
We wish Get Flanked all the best. Hopefully they'll continue to compete in either the Bronze or the Silver League. But next up, the Doge Squad versus Simply